Hey guys and gals, Never here from Wani Gaming, and some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Wanna Hug That Gator. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright, it's been a few days now, and the strange scent of extremely cheap detergent and alcohol have become an afterthought. Some of the vines are actually plastic, and the flowers are little air fresheners. It's not actually something I noticed, more so witnessed when a passenger tried eating one. Some of the vines are real, though. For some reason they go untouched anyways. Maybe they're just not tasty? And vegetarians don't eat the grass in their lawns after all. Right? Huh. Nope. Anyways, the lights have gone out and someone just dropped a wrecking ball next to me. Must be Mr. Ferris. Good morning, Inco. Good morning. How's work been going fine? It has. Slowly, but I'm very thorough. I hate the idea of a place of learning not being an ideal place to learn. But I appreciate our talks. Your perspective has really helped me understand the student body more. You're welcome. Hey, have you given any more thought to the fashion thing? I have, although I can't say I really get it. There's plenty to see everywhere if you just look around. Really? Like what? Well, look at that girl on the other end of the car there. Like a tail bracelet thing. It's rather revealing. I don't think that's really for me. I love my wife. I just mean as an example. Well, there's an event coming up. I could see about trying something new. What would you recommend? That's a good question. What would be good to use here? In my inner eye, I conceptualize the coolest possible Ferris. The fresh machine is going full throttle. Why would you fucking say that? That's terrible. First, sunglasses. Huh. His eyes may be a little too far apart for that. However, beanie. Oh my god. Moving on. Big guns, fresh jacket. There we go. The coolest possible Ferris. Mr. Nito? Sorry, just thinking. Why don't you start with... yeah, the jacket looked pretty cool. Literally looks like he's trying to fit in, like, hello, fellow kids. Really now? Those all sound rather expensive. Dude, you look like you're wearing quite a nice suit, though. Yeah, they are. You know what? Try a gold chain necklace. A what? Yeah, just make sure it's appropriately sized so it doesn't look silly. I'm sure it would go a long way, and they're pretty cheap to get. Oh, alright, I'll take your word for it. We sure talk about a fashion a lot, though. Is that really all everything's about these days? Oh, of course not. What do you want to know about? Alrighty. What's YOLO mean? I've heard the term thrown around recently. That was like 5 years ago. Oh. Mr. Ferris and I talk more about contemporary urban slang until we arrive at our stop. Art. Mr. Edekin had just started talking about our first project for the class. As soon as he said the word, Olivia's hand had shot up. Her gray eyes sparkled in excitement, and a smile threatened to crush the perpetual frown etched on her snout. The girl vibrates in her seat as she waves her arm in the air, trying to get the teacher's attention. Edekin's own smile was strange as he and Olivia engaged in a staring contest with one another. I could only marvel as the two argued with each other without a single word. Eventually, Edekin won by turning off the lights and turning on the cheap projector hanging from the ceiling, and playing a safety video about paint that felt far too graphic for a school setting. I don't think I'll be able to eat barbecue for a while. Thoroughly defeated, Olivia crosses her arms and pouts in defeat. And that is why we won't be using any of the more exotic materials for any projects, Miss Halford. Ugh, maybe I should just skip breakfast entirely. I still don't see the problem. Once you've all had the proper safety handling course, in the second semester you'll be allowed to use oil-based paints. Until that time, however, all the assignments will require safer supplies. Now, since we've pivoted to this, might as well finish the full video. The grumpy gator holds a hand to her throat, mumbling to herself as she grabs a metal flask and drinks from it. The entire display from her was mystifying, at odds with how Ben and Liz described Olivia. In fact, it kind of reminded me of... me. I can understand why, after all, Edekin is letting Ben and I use some of his equipment in photography. That thrill of experimentation, of new possibilities. No doubt that it brings a creative sparkle to her eyes. Eyes that fill with pure malice as they glare daggers my way. Oh, was I staring? Oops. Before I could offer an apology, she already had her hands on the wheels. She rolls up to Edekin's desk. He leans forward intently. I can't make out anything that's said through the video, but going by the occasional glare back, it's not hard to imagine. Crap, I really didn't mean to offend. Edekin notices I'm watching and motions for me to come forward. Slowly, I shift out of my seat and approach the desk. Alright, is something going on here? Edekin speaks in a hushed tone, just loud enough for me to hear over the makeshift matinee. Olivia's telling me you're making goofy faces at her. No! I said you've been staring at me all through class. Huh. It's weird, like he's never seen someone like me. Can't you move into a different seat? Now hold on a sec there, Olivia. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. Mr. Edekin! It's like she's a different person here. She fishes out a canteen of water and brings it to her mouth. Are you sure there's water in that? You're given a lot of leeway when it comes to a seat assignment, but asking for something like this... I just want him to leave me alone. She sips again. What's that about? Well then, Inco, you tell us. What's on your mind? Can't have disagreements between classmates this early in the year. I'm confused. I didn't know there was any disagreement between us. Well, sometimes it's just the little things you do that you don't even think about that affect people the most. Anything like that come to mind? I shake my head. Olivia's glare doesn't diminish away from my field of view. I mean, I've been a bit curious about her since we sit next to each other, and I'm friends with some of her friends. We all sat together at lunch yesterday. Edekin nods to himself thoughtfully. Sounds like he just wants to hang out, Olivia. Her face scrunches at the mere thought. Yeah, not really interested. He's distracting me from classwork. I want to watch the video without being gawked at. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Does that resolve the issue for you, Olivia? No, I don't want some buddy in this class. She goes to take another sip, but ends up turning the canteen upside down. All out. Olivia, you can go fill it up if you want. You won't be missing anything. The video's nothing you don't already know, I'm sure. Olivia's eyes me suspiciously and slowly moves out the door towards the nearest water fountain. Edekin sighs. Alright. He leans back in his chair with his arms resting behind his head. Inco, I told you yesterday if the air needs clearing to do it yourself. Now she's in a mood because you were staring at her like a weirdo. And here I thought you two would get along. She even gave you that sketch she made of you. Truthfully, I'm impressed, but here we are. What's going on, big guy? Again, sorry. It's been a pretty busy few days. Yeah, I've gotten into a cool friend group. We're all gonna sit together at lunch. Olivia's there too. She didn't say much, but I got her a soda. I don't know why she's so upset at me. Dude, don't stare at her. That's weird. Do not stare at people. It's nothing personal, Inco. She might think you're staring at her because of her wheelchair. It's not hard to figure out. It's not? She's reticent, especially when it comes to change. If you're at her lunch period, too, I can see why she'd be wary of you. If you don't mind me asking, Mr. Edekin. Yes? Why is she so open with you? How do you mean? Just now she spoke more in that conversation than all the other times I've seen her yesterday. I saw the canteen. I figured it's something to do with her voice, but it's surprising. Her water bottle's the other way around. It's unfortunate, but she just rarely talks at all. And I guess she just really trusts me. I've known her since she was a freshman. She seemed to gravitate towards art, and how I taught it. And soon enough, I took her under my wing. Ooh, excuse me. But she lives with Damien, right? He's at lunch table and she still barely talks to him. Poor kid. I hope he's doing alright. He seems to be alright. But yeah, she's distant to everyone else. So much so I keep hearing weird things about her. Edekin leans forward in his chair, suddenly attentive. Is this about you gossiping with Ben yesterday? A bit. He showed up to the table and said something about her being the same after she left. Probably some drama there, but I don't want to pry. He nods. But also, Liz told me some weird things, too. He stops nodding. I know of her. Is something wrong? No, she just said I shouldn't get invested in being her friend. Everyone's being real weird about it, so I was curious for myself. Guess that's why I was looking at her weird. Sorry. Edekin rubs his temples. Ay. It's worse than I thought. What is? I'll put it this way. You've met 3 people that know Olivia other than me. Of the 3, only one thinks highly of her, and the other 2 start unloading drama on anyone willing to listen. In this case, you. No wonder you're confused. I hadn't thought of it like that. I don't blame you. You shouldn't be involved in anything stupid. High schoolers, you know? I guess. Edekin inhales, collecting his thoughts. Important question, then. Do you really want to be Olivia's friend? Huh? I mean, I guess. A judging eyebrow was raised my way. Are you really? Or just curious about her? He seems pretty serious about this. Yes, then. Olivia returns to class and rolls back up to the desk. Back! Have you changed his desk yet? Edekin nudges his head towards me expectantly, prodding me on. I'm sorry I distracted you during class, Olivia. He looks to Edekin and gets a similar nod. Sure. I mean, you're welcome. I mean, thanks. Shit. But, no, really, I don't want to be distracted. Come on now, Olivia. The least you could do is give him another chance. You never know. I don't really want to know. I get he's, like, friends with Damien, but I don't really want to, you know. Not in this class. But I'd like to be your friend. She stops and raises an eyebrow. Lots of those going around recently. Like she was expecting this response. She looks to Edekin for help. Actually, Olivia, I also think he'd make a good friend for you. What? His words were like a battering ram. I'm simply saying to give Inco here a chance. I can almost see the imaginary bulwark she hid behind slowly crumbling from what Edekin was saying. You are both quite similar at heart, though you may have different methods. Perhaps you'll find some compromise behind cynicism and naivety if you work together. Finally, the last fragments of her imaginary fortress collapse. Olivia can only look at the art teacher with timid confusion painted across her features. Well... I don't... Are you for real, Mr. Edekin? I am. He's actually another class of mine. I've seen him. He's passionate about his camera, like you are with a brush. And I do expect great things from him. Okay. Sorry, I really thought, Oh! Oops, she accidentally bit her tongue. Her mouth is clamped shut. It's just my opinion. You can make your own choices, Olivia. She nods furiously. Oop, the movie's about to end. You should get back to your seats. We good here? Olivia side-eyes me again and nods once more. All right. He motions for us to skedaddle. Olivia backs away to her spot. Ugh. All right, I'm going to pause it right there, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.